how's it going? It's Grant,
and Shelby.
the Garden of Eater, and today we're going to talk about, can we do 500 plus aquariums on top of having a baby and maintaining everything and not falling behind? Is it worth bumping up, or are we going to reduce the number of tanks? That's blasphemy. Sounds so wrong. I did leave my notes on the table.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Yes, I'm sorry. So that's only 100 tanks per family member. No problem. Yeah, I like that math. So we had some things that we were planning on doing. Some things we've been talking about doing for a very long time now. And there's been reasons, obviously, why we haven't done some of them, because we've been planning them out and thinking, taking a step back and going, is this what we actually want to do, or should we leave some room? For those that don't know, Shelby is due the end of September. Obviously, we didn't just find out last week that Shelby was pregnant. We've known for a very long time now. We've just been wanting to keep it to ourselves, and didn't really have the right time to come out and announce everything until last week. So we've kind of had some excuses for a couple of things, and we've kind of steered you in the other direction a little bit on those. But there's only been a couple of people, and by that, 2 people, who even guessed that Shelby was pregnant during the whole thing. There was a couple people, I guess, that had it in their mind. They had a thought, and mainly just family members who were around us on Father's Day and stuff like that. But Lady Diane somehow figured it out in February, which would have been 1 month into Shelby being pregnant. So Lady Diane has that superhuman ability. Another one was Mike Esposito. He's really close with us, especially at a lot of the shows. And I think he noticed that I was doing extra lifting that Shelby usually takes care of. And for those who helped us out in Texas and at some of the other shows that had no idea that Shelby was even carrying or buried, thank you guys, because I didn't have to go, hey, by the way, Shelby's pregnant. Would you mind doing extra lifting or anything like that? It just kind of all got done. Mike Vibes, the Morgans, Texas was a while ago. I'm sure I'm forgetting somebody who helped out and gave us a hand, but it really was a lot of help from everybody, and we made it through to get to this point. And yeah, we're super excited. Now you guys have the guessing game.
This is funny. We apparently go on at the same time as Kill Tony.
That's why our views are so low.
That's all I hear from Grant's phone. Like, I literally know when it's playing. Like, he could be in the living room, and I'm like, what video are you watching now? And I'm very, very critical about some of the comedians that come on there and some of the jokes.
Cam Rogers had a joke about flipping a giraffe. He's like, yeah, I gave a photo, or sent a photo to one of my friends, and he's like, yeah, bro, I've got one of those. And he's like, what do you mean you've got one of those? And he's like, yeah, I actually have 2 of them, and one of them had a baby, and I sold it to the zoo. And he's like, you flipped a giraffe? So, yeah.
That wasn't that funny.
It was funny, all right? Get out of here.
Congrats on the future auto water changer.
Yeah, future auto water changer, future aquascaper. I don't let the kids touch the water. I don't even let Shelby touch the water. But I just said that, and I'm going to contradict myself later on. So,
Dr. Anthony said, how much would it be to pay us to name the baby Anthony?
You know, I'm sure if you just want to finish the research center in Peru and then hand it over, that'd work out.
Yeah, we already have the names.
And then you have to pay for the whole doctorate degree as well. I'm sure we could write up something.
Grant is pregnant.
So one of the things is like I can't fit in your shirt, or not your shirt, but like Garcia's shirt or man, see, I thought that was Garcia. I saw Glass.
I know you can't.
I'm sorry, I can't read that bad. But yeah, I can't fit in a lot of t-shirts because I was trying to gain some weight, so that way I would distract everybody from the fact that I was over 200 and Shelby wasn't that much bigger. So yeah, it worked out. Everybody's like, "Dang, Grant's getting fat."
Baby, what?
All right. So should I dive into chat into the?
Yeah.
All right. So the first thing, I think the most obvious one that we're going to address is in the very beginning of the year, we had all the plans, all the ambition. We bought almost everything except for the lumber, all the paint, all the screws, all the airline tubing, filters, adjuster valves. We bought the Alita, all the aquariums, except for half of them. Because I had an idea and I didn't want to. There's been quite a few Petco, and you can't even say $1 per gallon anymore because it's 50% off, and then they jacked up all the prices. So now it's $16.99 with the sale for a 10-gallon tank, and that's how much it used to be like 5 years ago, just to walk into Petco without a sale and buy the 10-gallon tank. So now that tanks are just no longer $1 per gallon, definitely going to be just doing one rack of 10-gallon aquariums in the bedroom for Shelby's fish room. And is it going to be a fish room? That's the next thing to talk about.
Love this comment. Big Steve says it's going to come out with a bright red Amish beard, Micro Grant. That'd be so funny. Unfortunately, I took a little dive into genetics because he is a ginger, and I've always wanted a redhead kid. But because of my family, we will never have redhead kids. Maybe our grandkids would possibly, if they both, because our kid would be have it in the line. But I have
heterozygous.
Yeah, I have no.
But Shelby's not heterozygous.
Of gingers in my family whatsoever.
She's homozygous for no ginger.
Blonde hair, blue eyes, or brown hair, green eyes. Like, that is it in our family. So, unfortunately, no red hair baby. I was so upset because both the kids didn't come out with red hair, and his cousins have one of his cousins have, both kids pretty much have red hair, don't they? Yeah, they're both gingers.
Yeah, just one set of cousins. The rest, though, they're not.
Yeah. I was so excited. And then there was, where'd it go? Oh, there's Stephen P. Keystone Clash birth on location. That would be cool, but unfortunately, I am not. I have to have a C-section.
Only you would comment this.
So I will not be attending Keystone Clash this year, but Grant will be there for you guys to somewhat be acceptive of it.
Listen, I was going to talk about that at the very end.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You ruined it.
I apologize.
That's just a little spoiler.
Yeah.
Right.
I am actually due on the Keystone Clash, so.
No, the week before.
Week before. But, no, the week before.
So let's talk about that when I get to that. I'm ready for that later.
She pulled the baby out of her
We're still talking about the bedroom.
That. I guarantee you. If we have a live stream and I'm feeling up to it, he will pull that baby out of my hair, guaranteed. What's behind here?
Somebody else would have to be here to help with that, because that's not a simple.
If baby's sleeping, it would be no problem.
It's a little bigger than the things I pull out of your hair, though.
Thank you, everyone, for saying congratulations, too. I am reading them all, and the amount of support we've gotten is incredible. So thank you, guys.
Can I talk about the bedroom?
You can talk now.
So instead of two large 36 10-gallon aquarium racks. We're only going to do one, and we're still going to do the 36 smaller 3.5-gallon killifish for Shelby's Killies Corner. That's still going to happen. Eduardo, thank you so much.
That just threw me for a loop.
You are
That's
asking
ridiculous.
for us to come down there and
Now
scape
we
a
gotta
tank
go
for
scape a
you,
tank.
huh? Yeah. I've got one on the counter. You can just come by and pick it up. It's not one
Yeah.
you're probably thinking. It is my third place aquarium though that I won third place in Connecticut at the Aquascaping contest. You could have Shelby's second place tank, but it's not looking as good now. I just want to say
It's
I've
terrible.
tried. I took a good scraper to it, but the plants just they didn't like that setup where I picked a lot of easy plants. That's why I was so sour when the guy marked me so low for
Plants,
longevity of the aquarium. Where
Yours is
months
actually-
later, mine looks great. I could still enter that in the contest and get third.
I don't think they realized that I left everything on the plants though, and that's what suffocated and killed them.
And the guy that got fourth, if he would have beat me, I was so upset because he got so high on longevity score, and I was like, all of these stems are done for in a week. Like
Sam Scales is a September baby. I haven't got to it. That's crazy. I got to see what date. Thank you so much, Eduardo, for the $100 super chat. This is insane. Says just my bill for the baby's room. Congratulations. Thank you so much.
appreciate
Had to
it.
make official. Sorry.
Hopefully we get to see you at one of the shows. I know we won't be making it to the Coral Springs Expo because I'll be at the Clash and Shelby will be with the baby, but hopefully you make it to one of the other events. Maybe we'll talk about Aquashella a little bit also later. You got anything else for me? Can I talk about the room?
You can talk about the room.
All right. So, like I said, we're doing the Achilles Corner. We're doing the one rack of 10-gallon tanks, and we're leaving the one rack out because we're going to put a dresser there for baby clothes. We're going to put a crib there for like a baby. And then we're also going to have extra room for diapers and stuff like that. So not maximizing the whole room out, but we are currently at 436 aquariums that are all set up and running. Maybe 338. I think I just got a feeling we took 2 down. I don't know why I have that feeling. But anyways, we'll have an extra 76 aquariums still going in there. So the easy math, 30 plus 70, and then some extra will get us over 500 aquariums still. The other part of that room was Shelby was going to do a lot of bettas and killies and come on, help me out here, Shelby. What other fish were you into? Fish.
The beta Achilles fish, and then that's about what I've narrowed it down to. That
I swear there was I swear there's something else other than good days that you're gonna do too.
In the room?
Mm-hmm.
Quarry cats possibly, but not really. That's it. All the endlers and guppies are supposed to go in my room wintertime, but other than that, they're supposed to go outside. That's really all.
The Cinnamagills. That was it.
That wasn't really for the bedroom though. That was more.
Well, they're getting out of my house, so they're either going in your bedroom or we're finding new homes for them.
Okay. Grant needs his own bucket to bring people on panel to tell jokes.
You know what? That would be a good idea. We have a bucket, and I've been meaning to like empty it and bring it around to shows. So maybe I will start feeding that off so I can have a bucket at the Keystone Clash. There's no way I'll have it ready for next weekend, but I can start gathering up stickers. I have a smorgasbord of stickers, like a stack this tall of different varieties of stickers from shows. So
we found a big stockpile of them too that we were supposed to be doing giveaways, like little packages and stuff, swag packs, and we finally found it Frank said, Shelby, how are you feeling? The only thing I'm usually feeling is either nauseous or hot at this point. It's been extremely, really hot. I saw Tank Girl say something about how you're handling this heat. I'm not doing very well.
The heat's been bad. I will say you're less nauseous for this kid than the last two kids. Like night and day.
Oh yeah, because
difference.
Layla I was really sick with. So.
But dang, you've become a weakling in the heat, huh?
Yeah. I've been swelling up really bad. I mean, I'll sit out for like a few minutes. I can't even handle. I'm sweating inside and the fan's on, and it's something to do with hormones. Apparently, they say is making it 10 times worse. So
positive though. She's been eating a lot more sweets. So I've been getting a lot more ice cream, baked goods, stuff like that. That's kind of why I've gained so much
It's
weight.
driving me crazy. I don't like sweets at all. This baby wants brownies and cookies and ice cream, and which doesn't happen. Like my Layla, it was just meat and like different sauces that were like real mustard, and like I never had mustard a day in my life till I was pregnant with her. And then Jaden was just picky. Like he's actually like a picky eater compared to Layla. And Sam says, no way, guys, I'm taking that baby fishing. We will be taking it. Layla, see, people think that life stops when you have a kid, and it doesn't. Layla was like 6 months old when we went into the caves with her. She had to be like the youngest baby to be in the caves. So like, we'll definitely go fishing with this baby and go on collecting trips. Like, obviously, I won't be going down and like hunting the fish or getting some of the fish, but definitely
we'll be going to less crowded alligator spots for sure.
And then Sam, baby Carrie Dina. See, I didn't. That would have.
No, I swear
you said
that was
Caradina. He just said straight Caradina. You did not say Carrie.
Maybe,
Dina.
but I swear I tried it.
It's not a bad name.
It's too close.
Too bad we already have a name, but
you just like it from Sam more than me. I see how it is.
No, you did not say. You may have said Cara Dina. Maybe that's what it is.
I tried like every single.
We have a Cara in the family, though. That's the reason why we couldn't.
But there's multiple reasons why we can't use that name too.
This one will be just the assistant to the other assistants. That's funny.
See, Layla,
true. They're so far apart.
And we'll be talking about Layla more, but like Layla has been eons more help. Does not like the video games, so it's constantly. She even asked me today, "Hey, are you gonna need any help from me tomorrow? Because I want to go spend the night at one of my friend's house." And I'm like, "We got the live stream. We're not doing that tonight, but I don't need your help tomorrow. But I can find something for you to do if you want." And she's like, "Okay, sounds good." So.
Eduardo, so I remember certain comments someone made at our house, at your house in February, and the look on Shelby's face said it all. Just saying, Shelby, do you remember this? There was a lot of comments that have been said over the few months that some people found out because of my comments I made about being nauseous or not being able to eat, and like you could physically tell that I was not able to eat. So a couple people did find out that way. But yeah, I'm not very good poker face at all. Like, and I can't lie either. So someone asked us, we just said it. We're like, yeah. And then Richard said, do you need help? What you need help from me building a new bedroom?
Oh, man. So, Richard, I wrote out a list. It's just been I
asked him 3 times if he called you. He's like, I forgot. And it was like 10 o'clock at night every time.
It's just not the right week for you to come by because we have Mike Howie coming this weekend, and all of the aquariums had to be cleaned and scraped, and he's trying to do a video for his channel, The Fish Tank Barn, and it's just I've got too many things with that, plus 4th of July. One of our friends actually was like, hey, you want to go out to eat? And we're like, you never want to go out. So, yeah. We took him up on that, so I didn't get as many water changes as I wanted to do that day, but it was still nice to take a little breather. Had the RO unit cranking the whole time, so I was still working, right? But yeah, I'll get with you and talk with you, maybe tomorrow if I remember.
I'll try to remind you. I don't work tomorrow, so. Nano Aquarium guy says, with the baby on the way, are your travel plans later in the year changing?
I guess we can go about that now. I can just skip the next
Sorry.
segment. We're not in the middle of a segment right now, so we're good. So I don't know if they've made the announcement quite yet to everybody yet. I think there's a few people that sponsored some of Shelby's talks. Shelby will no longer be going to the Keystone Clash. I'm trying to weigh out all my options, whether or not I'm going to fly or ride up with Ryan from Wild Fish Tanks or someone else maybe. I am a little worried about like possibly getting delays or something like that and not making it home, say on Monday, where if I drove home from Sunday, I'd for sure be home Monday morning. So the show is something that we've really been looking forward to. And like, I'll be honest with everybody, at first the due date was after the Keystone Clash, and everything was like so solid for us. We're like, everything's going to work out, because the Keystone Clash is one of those shows where even with all of the travel expenses and making it up to Pennsylvania and then traveling back, it's still one of those shows where we make a good amount of money. And because of that, Shelby was able to step down and not have to work 5 days a week and only works 2 days a week at West Marine. Aquascaping, the Aquatic Expo, a couple of their smaller shows are really part of the reason why Shelby stepped down from being manager. So we might be able to afford to skip the Keystone Clash, but it's also right before the winter where everybody up in that region wants to stop buying shrimp and fish and plants because they're worried that they're going to get popsicles. So a lot of the money that we get from the Keystone Clash and that last Aquashella in Daytona, we put that money away to make it through December, January, February, and make sure all the bills are paid, that we don't have to stress out, because end of February, people start getting their tax return and sales go back to normal on the website. So really the goal is be at the Keystone Clash, make the money that we needed to make to be comfortable through the winter, but be away from Shelby and the baby the least amount as possible, because Shelby will be having the baby via C-section the week before Keystone Clash. So, of course, I want to be home for the baby. I also don't want to leave Shelby with all the grunt work to do everything. But luckily enough, her mom's going to fly down. We've got a bunch of people already here that are like, oh, you're going to be on standby and whatnot. Because before the Keystone Clash, we were scheduled to go to Canada also. Shelby got the passport, everything cleared. But because the due date got pushed forward, it's just too risky going to Canada. So
unfortunately,
I'm going solo.
It's a plane ride, honestly.
I'm going solo to that with the goal to be such a grade A American that they invite both of us back the next year to help out with shrimp event as well as aquascaping.
Yeah, don't let him. He has to compete in the aquascaping because that's what I was supposed to go to. So if he loses, there's a lot riding on this one.
There's a $2,000 cash Canadian money, though. It's a little less, I think, than American, but still $2,000 sounds great.
Can't risk having a Canadian baby. No, it's the flight. I thought it would be actually really cool to be able to birth in a different country, but unfortunately, because I have to have a C-section, I can't have natural birth. I just don't want to risk a 5 or 6 hour flight, and who knows if it's like a delay or anything else. That's what's scary to me.
Yeah, knowing Shelby's luck, we'll have to stop an entire flight because she goes into labor mid-flight, and we've got to stop somewhere random as possible. But whoever said the Canada joke, I hope everybody else automatically thought about Ike in South Park.
But let me just explain my bad luck. It's just about anywhere we go. Recently has been even worse for some reason.
I'd say it's been better, I swear.
Because of the heat.
Oh,
and we have gone now to 3 restaurants where the AC has gone out while I'm there. And I'm too embarrassed to get up and leave because I think that's rude, even though I'm dying. And literally, like, it was terrible. My birthday was awful. We went to a hibachi grill, and all the AC was out, and they're lighting flames in front of you, and I'm like, I'm gonna die here. I'm gonna die. I was sweating. It was so bad.
And I before we even ordered, I was like, let's go. Yeah. And she's like, nope.
We already
I touched the plate. And I'm like, it doesn't matter if you touch the plate. I'll leave a tip and we'll get out of here. So,
but thank you so much, Vibes Aquatics, for the $1.99 super sticker. I wish we'd see them on this end. Ridiculous. And thank you again, Vibes, for $1.99. Says baby, yeah. Thank you so much, Vibes.
No, it's Baby Shark. You gotta do it.
Oh, that's a whale, though, isn't it?
Is it? What?
Maybe well, that's what it was supposed to be, Baby Shark. That's good. Continue.
All
back
right.
to you.
So, yeah, I'm doing the whole Canada trip, but the good thing about Shelby's due date being bumped up a little bit is before she was going to miss out on Daytona, which was a big bummer because she's already qualified in the Aquascape for Dallas. So now she'll miss the Keystone Clash, but she'll be able to do the Aquascape and be at Daytona for Aquashella.
Yeah. I won't be there very often. I'll probably be in the hotel room most of the time, depending on how the baby is and how things are.
But thank you, Vibes. I don't think we said thank you. We just read it.
No, Scotty's September 6th. I'm assuming that's your birthday. I said thank you to Vibes.
Oh, I don't think I did.
September 18th. Ah, close. That's way too early. September 26th is the date right now. It could change depending on the availability of my doctor for that week. But Scotty says no birthing at the Clash, only weddings, and I guess baby making is okay too. Just no births. That's funny.
We'll have a guard at the entrance of the hotel, and if you're 9 months pregnant walking in, excuse me, I'm sorry, we can't have this risk. You need to leave.
Bugsy says, boo, I'm not bringing ice cream now. CMP said y'all still coming to Baton Rouge next week.
Yes, that is still 100%, and we will have both the kids with us, so I think we will be there Thursday night and leaving on Sunday, and those would be the best 2 days if you guys wanted to link up, have dinner, go do lunch or something fun with the kids, because that Sunday is Layla's birthday, so we're trying to enjoy Louisiana a little bit before we head back to Florida.
And then Tube Dog said, how much do we need to raise for the lumber? I don't even know how expensive lumber is right now. It changes so many times.
Lumber for the what?
The racks.
New room or for the racks?
I'm assuming the racks.
The money isn't the issue for the racks. Like, I was already going to build the racks one week, and it literally rained that entire week for 10 days straight.
It's rained every day.
And then once the rain stopped, I kind of have a schedule that I have to get done with the tanks, and I've already said, all right, Layla's room and probably most of Jaden's room is not going to be taken care of because they already look really nice. I think they were the last tanks to really get maintenance, where the rest of the house gets a lot more light and fed a little bit more probably, and just doesn't look as good as those rooms. So we're going through getting the house done for Mike, and then I'm hoping in between the Louisiana show and Chicago, I can build the rack. I've already even had Johnny Rootweaver ask if he can come and learn how to build a rack himself and help and give a hand. So I just kind of got to orchestrate a day when we get back from Louisiana, because Mike takes priority this weekend. And then once we drop Mike off at the airport, it's going to be plants from the nursery for the show, and then catch shrimp, catch snails, gather up all the moss in the house, and then head over to Louisiana for that show. I'm really looking forward to that show. Jaden's not so excited, but Layla really is. I'm really looking forward to it. It's a new show for us, and it looks like it's got all the bells and whistles for a nice little club show.
Eduardo started it off with, do you know it's a boy, right, Shelby? So there's like all the comments going back and forth already. So I don't know what we were going to do with that. How are we doing that?
All right. So we just posted a video. It is the Aqua L Shrimp 30 Ultra set. Not Ultra. I'm so sorry. The Ultra is the other really nice one that we already did. But the last video that we just did, comment boy or girl. We already know what it is. However, we are going to put the correct answers, and don't be guessing both and be sly. Whatever you guess first is going to be it. And if it's edited, I'm going to assume it was opposite. All right? So no change in your answers. No edited answers are going to be counted the way they were. So if it's edited, flip it. I guess there is a way around that. Yeah. All right. Well, anyways, we're going to be putting you in a hat, and we will have a special prize for those that get it right on the next live stream. If we don't have it ready for next live stream, I don't know when I'm dropping Mike off at the airport and whatnot, and if I'll have it ready. If it's not ready then, it'll be ready the following week, and we'll already be home from Baton Rouge. But we do have a good little surprise giveaway. So comment on the other video. Don't do it on this one. Don't do it down here in live chat. I was going to do it on this video, but it's going to be an hour and a half before we remember. So the Aqua L video, if you haven't watched that one already, go check that one out. I don't want to toot my own horn, but
I'll say it. The tank is incredible. Okay.
I was just going to say it's my best one yet. I feel like the Aquascape itself is a little bit more thought out and well orchestrated and executed than some of the other things I had to do in the past.
He only struggled a little bit with it.
I broke it 3 times. So
he was done after he broke it the second time. He was like, oh, and he just sat down. He took a deep breath and he's like, all right, I'm going to go fix it now.
No, I broke it and it crumbled in my hand, and I was like, you know what? I'm making all the pieces smaller, so I'm never going to have to make any more adjustments ever again. And then I got into the tank, and that little bit of substrate was enough, and I was like, and it broke.
So Jeff said, how many tanks need to come down for the baby's room? So none are coming down, but there will not now be an extra stand that we wanted that would have been 36 tanks. Because it would have been the same tank stand that we built for every room, because it's same height. It just works out really nicely. So that will be the only rack, and it's just for conveniency. I mean, we really could put it in there, but because we have large dogs, because we have children already, and us getting it would have just been a little bit hectic, and we're just waiting till it's big enough, and it doesn't need to be supported 24/7 like a year, and
we'll this won't be temporary either. This won't be like, all right, the baby's grown out of the crib, now let's throw in another rack. No, the crib will be used again. So it's going to be well thought out. And make a little baby corner, little Killy's corner, and then all of Shelby's shrimp will be on the other rack.
So what kind of Corys? I don't know. I switch my mind all the time.
We have some laser Corys. Yeah. We also have some
orange laser Corys. Get that right.
Okay. And then we also have some of Lady Diane's orange Venezuelans. We have some black Venezuelans.
We need more of those.
But I like the greens. I like the big ones. So maybe I'll get some of those for some ponds outside or something like that.
It's just a nice classic look to them. And I don't know what it is about them, but they just look so beautiful in a tank, especially aquascapes where they have like an open bottom. Oh, it looks so pretty.
But I feel like the Corys will be a good thing to do with the Gadeids when we get that rack done.
Yeah. Back to you. I'm reading comments.
All right, so another one of the big upgrades that we did, kind of to get ready for Shelby, is she does all of the Neocaridina catching for all the orders outside, and the way the barrels were, the way the tubs were, and stuff like that. All the tubs outside of the greenhouse are just not easy for her to do, especially not at 7 months pregnant. So we made the bins basically specifically so she could work in those while she's pregnant in the future as well, and catch more shrimp out of the greenhouse, not have to really worry about the other tubs, and everything is just going to be producing a lot better in those tubs, and that's set up the way we had it. It's not just an upgrade for Shelby, it's also an upgrade for the actual space in the greenhouse itself. On top of that, we also made some baskets, and they got little holes in them. The goal is we've got some mountain cloud minnows, 2 different varieties. We've got some two different.
Fish.
No, the rice fish are not going in here. Rice fish are mop spawners. So yeah, these are for egg scatterers.
Mountain crabs.
The rasboras, the danios.
CPDs.
Yes, thank you. And the emerald rasboras. They're going to be going in here, throwing a good portion of salwasatang or moss, and then hopefully they'll lay the eggs in here. The eggs will fall through the bottom, and we'll get a bunch of fry going in those tubs. I'll play a little musical chair. For the most part, they leave our shrimp alone. I've got some emerald rasboras with the calcios. We've got some big old fat endlers with some yellow 24K. No, I'm so sorry. Some yellow King Kongs, and one of them's buried in there. 2 of them are buried, I think, actually. We've also got CPDs going in some of our other Caridina tanks, and we've got some mountain clouds with some blue bolts over there. So they're not really bothering the shrimp. They might eat some of the babies, but the goal is they like catch them like as they're juveniles, move them inside, post them on the website for sale, and get a little bit of musical chairs going. And they'll eat the seed shrimp. Maybe they'll eat some of the baby tadpoles that are out there also. Hopefully they don't eat too many baby shrimp, but I really want these going in the tubs before we add in all of the shrimp outside. But there is some shrimp in the first pond. We got some blue dreams in there. I also threw some rabbit snails throughout all the ponds. Dr. Anthony Mazerol said that the rabbit snails eat the cladophora, so that's one of the tasks that when Shelby goes through and catches the shrimp, she gets a little bit of the cladophora out while she's in there. So hopefully the rabbit snails eat all of it, and she won't have to do that no more. So I threw a handful of rabbit snails in each one of the tubs, and of course they'll get breeding and going in there. All the tubs are at 85 degrees Fahrenheit in the greenhouse with the shade cloth and stuff like that. All the ones out of the greenhouse though are in the 90s. It is hot here in Florida. I think it was like 106 today in Brooksville.
I love Zen's comment. Oh, my pregnant wife makes me want sugar. Poor baby. She's the best. She's so funny. Vibes Aquatics member for 6 months. Thank you so much. So my thinking was right last time we got to hang out. Congratulations, y'all. Prayers for success. Love y'all.
Thank you, because you helped out tremendously at that show. I'm not around the shrimp contest a lot because we've got 6 other things that we have to worry about at the Aquashella. And I think I was setting up the booth most of the time. So I don't think Shelby had to come over and ask me to move over anything. There was the boxes of hardscape from Pisces, but yeah. I knew that was going to happen. So I just made sure I was there and ready to do that. Yeah.
Made a much smarter decision there. And then,
but she keeps trying to move, like, even though there's smaller boxes of rocks and stuff, I keep yelling at her. I'm like, stop. You've got me. You've got Jaden. Like, Jaden keeps going out to the side of the house and grabbing 3 boxes of 25-pound boxes of stone and walks them outside and then walks them inside with a new stone and swaps them out. We're now on the 5th scape of 8 scapes for Carib Sea. Each one's got a different stone or different sand combination. Before we get to Jenna, let me just talk about this. It's real quick. It's just I know I didn't say what it all was. So it's just a plant basket, and then we took, this is actually leftover from one of my son's projects at school. End of school, he came home with all of his stupid little art things that they did. I'm just kidding. They're wonderful, but they weren't really art projects. They were more like learning.
It was the size of him necklace made out of pool noodles, and he couldn't even wear it, and he just wrapped it up. And I was like, "You want to keep it all, like hang it in your room?" And he's like, "No."
So I cut it up and took these off of it, and then I just zip tied them after I just cut them in half, little slits over the side. I've already got 3 of them out in the greenhouse, but I saved this one behind. We're probably going to do a video on it, but live stream members, you guys get a little sneak peek at some of the stuff that we got going on here.
But Jenna P says, so if Grant's blaming Shelby, does that mean he's going to eat extra healthy when he's not with her? So when he's at the Keystone Clash, he has to eat healthy, apparently. Okay?
No, because the Keystone Clash has those mega pretzels, and I'm going to be taking a picture. I'm going to call you on voice chat every single time I get one of those pretzels. So, you're with me while I'm eating them.
He's making it much harder. I'm so sad. You have no idea. Like, I was just like torn to shreds that I'm not going to Keystone. Because
Best part about it, I won't have to share the pretzel now. Yeah. Watch Sam, stay away from my pretzel.
Please, I will be messaging Crip, and I'll be like, hey, make sure you share that pretzel with Grant. Oh, that's so funny. Back to you.
And there's an ice cream party. I'm gonna help myself to a good bowl of ice cream, But I will say this:
you're not allowed to have too
lately. The diabetes has been knocking. Today I got a small ice cream, which is
was weird.
Not heard.
It was so weird. The first thing I responded really loud in the ice cream shop, I was like, "What's wrong with you?" He whispered. He was like, "I just don't feel good."
So earlier I talked about how I won't let the kids touch my water to do any of the water changes. And that is true when it comes to inside, because I am taking RO water, I'm mixing salts. The salts don't mix right away. You got to know, there's a lot of things involved that can get messed up with the salts. That it's not that I don't trust the kids, but I don't trust Shelby with it either. So I make sure I get it all done, and she's done it several times, but I'd rather just be the one to handle all the water, mix it all up, and get it all going and do the water changes inside. However, outside, a lot of it is just time and effort. And if I'm working on tanks inside, I don't like to go outside, because outside in Florida, it's exposed to all of the elements. We've got frogs, we've got dragonflies, we've got a lot of things that I don't want to end up in my aquariums inside. So one of my big rules for quarantine, cross-contamination, is if I'm working in any of the ponds, doing any water changes outside, I'm not doing anything in any of the tanks inside. Like, I might wash up, go out to dinner, take a shower beforehand, and get home from dinner and then feed all the aquariums inside. But I don't want to be working with tanks inside, going outside, moving hoses, coming back and working in tanks. It's just the chance of getting something inside from outside it's too high. However, while I'm doing all of the tanks inside, I really need all the ponds to get a good water change outside, and I haven't gotten to doing the water change system outside. That is going to get done before the baby gets here. That's for sure. It's just been a matter of time getting to Home Depot, buying all the wood, all the materials to do that, and everything for the stand all at the same time. So I want to just kill two birds with one stone and get that all done. But in the meantime, Layla is going to help me out. She's been, using her money to buy little jewelry, art supplies, purses, things like that. But I have been getting her to help me out with certain plants. She bags up all the guppy grass for shows, so I split all that money with her. And doing the water changes outside, it's just simply moving one hose over and moving another hose in and adding a little bit of prime. And I think what I'm going to do is have her drain all the ponds, and then I'll go behind her, add the prime into the ponds, and then she'll just go ahead and fill up the ponds. And I'll show her how to set a timer on her tablet. So she just goes out there every 30 to 45 minutes and moves the hoses over. And then when she's all done, all the water changes will be done. And she'll get something from Claire's or something like that out of it. And we've also been paying the kids into their own bank account now.
And Davo said, Shelby, you look so happy. Congrats. Thank you. I just wanted to point this comment out just because I always wanted a bigger family. And I'm truly happy that I'm able to do so. I grew up with a big family, and I just love that atmosphere. And the kids have also been super excited about having a little brother and sister. They've asked for years. So it's really cool to be able to finally give them more family. So, and Sam also said, you guys both knew I knew right, at least at Aqua Expo. Remember all my subtle comments. I had a feeling that you did know. I was very appreciative of you not asking.
We were going to say if you didn't know, we were going to be worried because she was legit talking about it at, I had his name at the top of my head.
Sabu?
No, not Sabu's house. I want to say Terrence, but it's not Terrence.
Oh, don't ask me.
Tristan's house. They were talking about it on the couch, and you were sitting right next to Shelby. So I'm just saying, you should know. Anything else for me? Should I back in?
I think Scotty said all sponsorships are almost redirected. So nice. Yeah, for other speakers and things like that.
Well, no. So Scotty messaged me today. That was another thing about the Keystone Clash I forgot to say. So instead of Shelby doing her talk, I am doing an Aquascape talk that same day. And then on Friday night, I am doing my... Hold on.
I'm trying to read fast enough so I can push Katie's a little more.
I know he just messaged me today. All right, so I'm doing my shrimp talk on Friday, and then on Saturday I'm doing the Powerhouse talk after the awards. So I'm gonna have to use my shrimp jokes for both talks. So I'll probably leave like 2 of them out in the shrimp talk. That'll be for the Powerhouse, but I'm not that funny. I don't have that many jokes. Maybe I'll come up with a couple, because I'm speaking in 2 weeks. Do I have another talk? No, the Keystone Clash is my only other talk. I've had several other clubs that were trying to book us around September, November, and October, and I couldn't really tell them the reason why we couldn't take those dates. But now I can. I can message Atlanta and New York and Michigan and let them know why we had to turn them down. I've been waiting to go to all 3 of those states to do talks too for
especially
a very
Atlanta.
long time. And Canada was already like planned out for 2 years now, and Shelby knows how much that mean to me. And I was going to stay home, and Shelby, we were driving on the way up to Connecticut, and I think she was driving. She looked over to me and she's like, "You can't miss Canada. You have to go."
I might have been crying a little bit.
She was tearing up. I'm holding them back. And I was like, are you sure? Because I wasn't going to ask. I wasn't going to say anything. And Chris Biggs is the one in charge of all of it. And he asked us, and I said, "Chris, you can't tell anybody, but this is what's going on. I'll give you our answer when we get back from, I think it was Dallas, and because then we'll know the exact due date, everything, yada yada yada. And when I told Chris that I was going, and Shelby wasn't, he goes, "Dude, you're crazy. I don't know. You're just another level of insanity, brother." And I
I'll
was
be
like,
okay.
"No, this was Shelby's idea, or else I wouldn't be going." And yeah, so I was extremely lucky.
I am very lucky to have a good support system and friends that live really close to us. So I'm not worried about it. The kids are also very helpful. They help me with laundry. They do a lot for us. So I'm not worried. I told him I'm just a little jealous, but you never know what's going to happen in our lives. You never know what's going to happen next year. And I can't guarantee that we can go to Canada next year. And for me to be selfish when, yeah, there might be a risk I go into labor and I got to go to the hospital, but like, he's a flight away. He can be back within the day. It's not that big of a deal. The baby doesn't remember and we'll be okay. We'll make it through. I'm only going to cry the whole time. But you really can't stop that. That's just such a cool opportunity. And I know if I was in the same position, I would want to feel like I would be welcome to go too, just because you never know. And I just hope it's a great opportunity and Grant enjoys it and every minute of it.
And Shelby's still going to be going to 3 more shows before we go to before I go to Canada. So
3.
Yeah. Chicago, Louisiana, and Vegas.
Oh yeah. So I get a lot. It's just I'm only missing like a few shows. No, just one particular show that I really wanted to go to. But no, 2. Canada and the Keystone Clash. And it depends on how I'm healing on how we are on Daytona. But most likely Grant will at least be there if I can't be there.
No, you'll at least be there, just whether or not you're doing anything other than the Aquascape contest.
Yeah.
That is the question. So, but then also we're not going to be going to Skelly Fest because that is literally the same week. It's like the weekend and it's only a 1-day show. It's here in Florida. They're probably going to be like wondering like, what do we got to do to get these people at our show, because they changed the dates so it wouldn't match up with the Keystone Clash, even though Keystone Clash changed their dates. And
and then so Tube Dog said, on a routine maintenance of your tanks, do you clean all the walls or just the front glass? I've heard different stories.
Exhibit A. All the fronts of the glass are done, but the sides
you can see
are there. You can see the sides. The sides are definitely dirty there, but we just cleaned the front window so that way we can see the shrimp, we can do videos, we can take photos and stuff like that. I am getting around the house and doing a lot of water changes. I just haven't had time to really take a lot of photos yet, but I should be posting a lot more photos here recently or eventually. But I leave the sides mainly because of all the biofilm that grows on there. It's good to like scrape it and let it regrow and whatnot, let the shrimp eat it off, but you don't need to do that. It's just extra work.
Yeah. It's not worth it, honestly. The only time I would ever see it worth it is because we have the rows of tanks, and the only thing is if like all the tanks were completely packed full of shrimp and baby shrimp, it would be a cool effect to see it scraped again so you can film all the way through. But you're going to have one of those tanks that's not going to bounce back, and it's going to have like the white cloud. So it's just not worth it. And it's so beneficial for them to have it on the walls, like especially when we have like this tank particularly was completely green like last live stream, and Grant scraped it, but all the shrimp love to go on the front of the glass with that, so it's really cool to see how well the tank's doing because of it. But as culling purposes and stuff like that, we like to keep it clean, and then we can see if the sponge filter's running correctly and things like that. I'm sorry if I repeated anything Grant said. And Mike said, is there any chance that Shelby throws an orange-eyed baby? I guess.
It's like one in a
Yeah.
gajillion, but anything's possible these days with all the radiation floating around, you know?
Christy said paint the room like an aquarium. You know what's funny is we already have the paint for the room
It's kind of
before the baby was we even knew. Like we had just bought the paint and it's pretty much going to look like that. It was already going to be that way because we're already really sea people and I love jellyfish. So I have like 500 things of jellyfish paintings and Sam Scales paintings and things like that all go up on the wall. Like your jellyfish painting's definitely going to go up on the wall once it's all done.
Sam, if you want to take an extra day or two here in Florida when you come down to Daytona, I can take you some fishing spots if you want to crash on the couch and draw a nice mural in the baby corner.
It's back to you.
Back to me?
Yeah.
All right. So
I'm not reading fast enough.
Of course, I got to be a little bit more hands-on, able to help Shelby out with the baby and stuff like that. So I've got to make my life more efficient. And one of the ways I'm going to be doing that is getting new hoses. So that way I can drain the tanks a little bit faster. I'll probably get 2 more CJ pumps, one for the RO reservoir, and then one for the 3rd trash can that's running around, just so I don't have to move pumps. I don't have to worry about waiting for a pump to finish emptying a trash can before I can get water out of the RO unit. We're also going to get upgrade the RO unit from 200 gallon per day to 500 gallon per day. And then on top of that, I'm also going to be getting the algae scrapers, but the magnetic ones. And I'm going to try and get one for every single aquarium. So if somebody out there works for MagFlow or, there's another.
Aqueon.
I know Aqueon, but there was like Fish and
Fishies.
Friends or
2 fishes.
2 fishes. Or knows somebody that can hook me up, or maybe even somebody makes their own and could put our own little like TJOE logo on there that isn't too expensive or something like that. I've looked into like you can buy the small Aqueon ones, and I think they're the same ones that Richard has, and I like those, and it would help me. Instead of having to wash the scraper and stick my hands in the tank and then wash my hands, I could just go through while the siphon is draining the aquarium and just get the front of the glass real quick, and then maybe even use it up top on the lids as little lid holder handle things. So I'm also maybe thinking of, just spending the money and buying them wholesale somewhere, just because I do think that it'll save me a lot of time. All the aquariums will look a little bit nicer. We can take photos, and it is one of those upgrades that I think would pay for themselves. But if somebody's got a connection, that would help us out tremendously.
Rusty said, before working on your tanks, how do you make sure your hands are clean? After COVID, I was always worried about all the sanitizer I was using.
So I just use whatever hand soap that we have. There's really no concern on what soap that I'm using. Back in the day, we were using some shrimp safe soap that somebody else used, but I never really felt like it actually cleaned my hands, because if I'm going into a tank that has blackbeard algae or something like that, I for dang sure want to make sure that it's not making it into the next tank when I go into there. So I do use soap and water. But after you lather up with soap, I basically run my hands under the hot water for as long as I can take it. And then once it's too hot, I dial it down just a little bit. And I do an extra 30 seconds of just trying to wash off all the suds or whatever chemicals can be left on the hands to make sure that they're good to go into the next tank. It's basically like a surgeon scrubbing up, and you want to make sure there's nothing on your hands when you go into the next one.
Thank you so much, Donnie Best, for the $2 super chat. Says, nice aquascaping, Shelby and Grant.
Thank you. I appreciate that. We have been doing a lot more aquascaping this year, and it's been a lot more rewarding for us also. We've been using it as one of those things to kind of supplement the income as all of our insurance costs and everything like that went up. It's nice that we've got the aquascaping skill to fall back on and make a little extra bread and
enjoy doing it too.
And not have to
It's
worry
fun.
because we did kind of find out about the whole insurance going up an extra $500 a month after Shelby was pregnant. So Aquascaping's helping out a lot. And thank you, Johnny, for becoming a member.
Mm-hmm.
And because you're a member, we've got you a sticker, and we will send you one of these plus a code to our website, 10% off, tgoeshrimp.com. Don't worry, it won't be the one out of Shelby's hair unless you want that one. I can send you it. But yeah, appreciate it. Welcome to the team. Welcome to the family.
I'm pretty sure you were already a member, so thank you for re-upping your membership. Dr. Anthony coming in strong with a $20 super chat says, so now it's time for the wedding bells. I will not be getting married this big, okay? Absolutely not. We're been picky on that, and we've made 20 different decisions on it, and then we're like, I even made jokes when we were getting our passports because we turned around and there's like a wedding thing right there. And I was like, Grant, right now. He thought it was so funny.
Who knows? We're going to Vegas, right?
And then I told him that his grandmother would absolutely be okay and would actually love it if when we were in Vegas, we got married by that Elvis. There's one that's like an Elvis guy who marries you and everything. I thought it'd be so funny because his grandmother loves Elvis, and I think she would find that lovely. But thank you so much, Dr. Anthony. Back to you till I can get back to the comments.
So what I was saying, with all the new hoses, the upgraded RO system, the upgraded pumps or more pumps, I'll just be able to get through everything, do all the water changes. So the whole topic of tonight is, will I be able to maintain 500 aquariums while Shelby takes care of the baby, while also me helping her take care of the baby and her doing not as much around the house to say, with like catching the neos and stuff for the first couple of weeks or months or whatever until she's ready to get back to it. But she'll be doing a lot more in terms of YouTube, editing, getting things ready for the website. So one of the things that we're doing is going through and filming a ton of content. So yes, we just posted another video. We are getting videos out more regularly than we were months ago. Okay. But we have a whole Opa-Ula video just about filmed. We just got to do the voiceover. Same with the Sulawesi. Same with the Caradina maintenance video. Same with the Neo Caradina maintenance video featuring the neuters. And then we also have Mike Howie coming this weekend to do a house tour. But all of the tanks will be cleaned before he gets here. And I've always told Shelby, like, we need to just do our own tour video when we keep cleaning the house for other people's tour video. So even if we don't, oh my God, air it until after Mike does his, or if his is in way months after ours, I'll kind of know what Mike is going around and filming. And then I'll kind of concentrate a lot on what Sasha didn't share with you guys, what Nick didn't share with his videos and stuff like that, and go into that. Plus, a lot of the videos before the house tour that I mentioned that we already have filmed, those were all going to do like update videos for the whole house. And I kind of stopped doing it because I was like, I'm doing too much filming and not enough scraping and like cleaning and getting all the water changes and everything like that out of there. So I went ahead and gone through, said no more videoing. Let's just tackle all the maintenance, and got that out of the way. But the next time around, when we get back from probably Vegas, or between Vegas and Canada, or between Canada and Daytona, or one of those shows, I'll go through and make sure that We do updates on each one of the racks, all the shrimp going into them and stuff like that. Those have been really requested videos, but it's just one of those things that the class is never clean and I never have time to film. So the scrapers are one of those things that give me no excuse not to tackle a video, because we never really film a video without doing a water change first. Just clarity of the video is just skyrockets. So definitely want to make sure that we go ahead and get
we
the
do the water
scrapers to make
change
things
for the
easier.
video.
Yeah.
Sam said, I have to do a special giveaway print for the TGOE for the baby. That would be so awesome. We'd be honored. Thank you.
And Sam, while I have you here, there is some people that are over 24 months. And we've got your 12-month membership is for... Oh, I'm sorry. There's two things in Shelby's hair this week because I forgot to grab this out last week. I don't know how we left it in there. And it's still pretty good shape. It didn't get crumpled up or nothing, right? So we have the 12-month membership. If you're a member with us for a whole 12 months, you get the exclusive green kiwi tie bee caradina print from Sam Scales. But we need that 24 month. So if you could do that orange-eyed, I'm not going to give away anything else, but you know what I'm talking about, Sam. If you make one of those prints for me, and all of our wonderful members that have been supporting us for so long, I don't know where Jeff Kane and Zen is, but I don't know where they are month-wise, but they're approaching that 36-month mark. And yeah, we definitely got to have it done by then. So, Sam, I don't know what your schedule is, but if you could help me out, I got something for you.
And then, so Jenna P, did you say the award we get for the boy or girl?
I didn't say what it was. No.
Okay, because Jenna was wondering if it was going to be the kid, and then someone has to take the responsibility of the baby. She doesn't want any more kids, so she's just making sure.
No.
I guess he didn't specify, so that will be something else.
I did not say what it is. I don't want to spoil whether it's a boy or a girl or what the surprise is, okay? Yeah. It's all going to be found out next week.
Yeah, and then check Facebook because we might update that this week or something like that. Maybe a little video about it. SoCal Shrimp said, what are your thoughts on under gravel filters?
So, I have never used any of the underground filters because of these cons. You can't use anything with roots, and that's not really a big thing because I don't use a lot of roots anyways. The roots would just go in and clog them up. But the main reason why I haven't used them is because the additional costs. The sponge filters are so cheap and they work so darn well. I couldn't imagine the under gravel filters working any better. But then on top of that, and this is an additional cost and labor, is the under gravel filters do actually, this is just other people's data, shorten the lifespan of the soil overall. It just seems like it does such a good job at buffering the substrate and lowering it down as far down as possible that it does break up the substrate a little bit faster. And every time you're doing water changes, you're pulling out that little tiny debris that's broken down. So with these filters, I get 3 to 5 years out of it. I've heard people that use the under gravel filters where they've got to change out their substrate every single year to kind of maintain that low pH.
And then Tank Girl said, what do you do about power outages? Do you use generators?
Yeah, so the only bad thing about our power outages is it takes out our AC unit, and the AC unit is too big for our generator. So we have a window unit in Jaden's room, and we have all of like the tiger shrimp and some of the rarer shrimp in there just in case the power outage does happen. We can use the smaller window unit AC, and then extension cords for all the Elitas in the house. Helps that every tank in the house dang near can run off of 8 pumps. So it's not a lot of extension cords and whatnot, but luckily we live on a good grid that power outages is like 2 or 3 times a year, and They normally don't last that long.
Dur said, this is funny because shrimp have more males at higher temperatures. Grant and Shelby live in Florida where it's usually warmer, and the baby will be growing primarily where it's warm and hot. I know what I'm guessing. That's so. I actually have brought this up to Grant, and because the turtles, that's how it is when they have eggs, and you can incubate them at a specific temperature, and they're more likely to have. I believe it's females at a higher temperature than males. So I don't know.
Females at higher temperature, males at a lower temperature.
For turtles, and I was like, is that possible for like? I don't know. It's like. No, the womb keeps it at a certain temperature. Like even if I heat up, the baby doesn't. You have to like stay hydrated. That would be, but it would be cool to guess like that.
But I don't know if I agree with that though. I think that the sex is not determined on temperature at all, because if that was the case, all of our shrimp would be coming out male in the tubs outside, and just to kind of like prove this theory, I'm starting all the tubs outside with like 20-25 shrimp. And if that was true, by the end of this experiment, come October, when I can sext all the shrimp that are born in the next 2 months, they should almost all be boys. And I know that's not going to be the case. That it seems like a majority of the shrimp that we pull out of the greenhouse are female.
Mm-hmm.
Like we don't have the complaint where people are like, I don't.
No, my black rose, we're struggling for a little bit. It's flopped, but most of the time it is female for sure. So that would be back again, warmer temperatures, more females.
But that's like the turtle ways.
Yeah.
But when all the data that's posted online, and that's why you can't believe any of the stuff you see online.
We got to look at crustaceans and like what are shrimp actually? Invertebrates, and see what they. There's so much different. They don't really research. There's no one's dedicated to things like that because there's no use for it right now. So all about use. Sam said, who was I chatting with about Shelby Glow back in March? Aw, so sweet.
I don't even remember what was going on in March.
Jaden's birthday. There was a lot going on in March. Jaden's birthday. We did another event in March too.
But I got Sam really good at the last show we were at. He was sitting down in the chair, and he had this phone cord sticking out. He was trying to find a charger for it or something like that. But he was just walking like it was a dog leash 4 foot behind him. And he's not that tall, so 4 foot behind him was dragging a little while. And so I went around and grabbed all of the badges, the necklace badges throughout the entire expo that I could find, and tied them up together. So when Sam got out of his chair, he started walking, and he had like a 20-foot long leash behind him. It was good. He had to be there.
Nano said, any weird cravings? The sugars and sweets. I am not one for sweets or sugar at all. I do not like to eat them. They make me generally sick. So and brownies, to crave a brownie was weird. Like it's very rare I ever want something sweet, and to be craving a lot of sweet things. So this baby's coming out like Grant, because it's gonna have his personality or his sweet tooth. My mom is also a big sweet tooth person, so I find it very funny.
I think both of our kids have my sweet tooth, except like they lack certain flavors. Like it's weird. Layla doesn't eat strawberries.
Yeah.
And I just find that so weird, because as a kid, I'd say I ate enough strawberries to keep my hair red, and I cut back on the strawberries, and now my hair's not so red. So I'm just saying.
Yeah. Sam said, get some paint for me, liquid, text, acrylic, and I'll do a mural for you guys. No charge, a baby gift. Oh, that'd be so cool.
You just send me a link on what paint to get. I'm horrible at getting the right stuff.
That one's pretty easy. Yeah, weddings can be expensive. It really depends. There's so many people that have like expensive weddings these days. I find that a little ridiculous. And we've gone back and forth. We wanted like a destination wedding, and then we're like, oh well, there'll be people that want to see it. So then we're like, well, most of our friends are at the fish shows, so let's do it in an Aquascaping. And like Chicago's like one of our favorite. and they have really good Indian food people that
Indian food people.
Indian
You said this way
food
wrong. Every time we go
caterers.
to an Aquashella, there is almost always in the Renaissance in Schaumburg for that event. There's almost always an Indian wedding going on, and they block off the bottom so that way you can only walk through the hotel to get to the expo from the main lobby on the second story, but it's like only like a bridge across. So all of the food is below and all of the smell is just rising into the second story. So you have to walk through this probably several times if you keep forgetting stuff, and it just makes you so hungry. And it smelled so good. And this was before we had all of our Indian food at Charlotte last year, and now we're probably getting it on Wednesday. So it's one of our favorite foods. It's delicious.
Matt, for member for 22 months, thank you so much. I did see that you said to send your 12-month and 24-month one when he hits 24 months. Said I will take that one from Shelby's hair. And then Rocks Aquatic said include a few of hairs for each sticker from now on. That's so funny.
My pen died on me, but hold on. I'll get a better pen.
Matt on it.
I did. I tried.
Scale said we have to plan a wedding for y'all. Show where all your friends are at. Maybe Aqua Expo 2025. I will.
Don't surprise me with it. Can I know about it? Don't just like walk me on stage.
I actually sent him a couple videos like that, and that's actually happened to people where the wife has gone and got the dress, she's gotten the people, all the paperwork, everything, and just had the husband show up to like a special event, and he just walks up dressed normally, not even in like good attire, and he's just like, what? What's going on? It's hilarious. I thought that would be so funny.
That's some stuff you would say would pull.
It'd be hilarious. Back to you. Sorry.
Gotta figure out what else I got. All right. So, of course, we had other plans to do after we got done with the fish room. And the main one was the garage, getting that all ready for quarantine after we do collecting trips. And I'd say the saddest thing about this year is we've literally had 0 trips to South Florida. We've had very minimum collecting, fishing at all this year.
There now. It's too hot.
Yeah.
It's too hot.
It's sad, but we just don't have the time for it. I really, really want to go and grab when Mike's here and get as many American flagfish as we can, because I want to put them in a bunch of tubs outside that I'm only worried about the plants, like especially jungle val. I don't want to ever have to buy jungle val again. I want to be able to harvest that out of one of our tubs, bring it to shows, and give people 5 or 6 times the amount of jungle val for the same price, because I don't have to buy the pot from a nursery. So I definitely want to get to that spot. I think the flagfish will help tremendously with that. And if we can get some of the flagfish to breed in some of the tubs outside and stay on top of the mosquito control, those are fish I want to bring home and get going. So instead of collecting and quarantine tanks in the garage, we've got some guppies going in there, of course. Shelby's also got some Videids and some bettas in there.
And some weird cichlids that Grant decided to bring home.
Okay.
They are cute.
Listen, you decided to keep them.
They are cute.
I could have had a new home for them by now. You wanted it. Yeah. But we are pretty much going to turn it over to more Neocaridina tubs, especially like good time of the year to start doing it, because they'll be seeded and breeding and producing for the winter time when all the tubs outside are so cold that if Shelby's, on baby duty and not able to go outside and catch shrimp, I ain't going outside, so I'll go catch them out of the garage or some of the ponds down
We got
below.
a lot of tanks inside going with Neos too, so it's really nice to see. That's blue velvets are back on the website. It's so rewarding to see that inside and just have a whole tank of them. Xerox Aquatic said, what about the deep freezer / ice cream video?
So we definitely got to
Who
go
knows?
ahead and get that channel
Do
going
one.
as well.
We just need to make it like a sub channel on our channel.
No, it needs to be its own channel on its own. And me and Shelby were also talking about this, how if we could just start it, get it going, and make a little bit of money and put that money towards buying ice cream, and eventually it snowballs, and then we can put some money away and put it aside, that one day we open up our own ice cream parlor. If one of our kids doesn't want to, do all the shrimp and everything, they can help with the ice cream parlor. They can go do their own dang thing. But I'm giving them options, all right? Instead of my parents only left me with cutting lawns, which who in their right mind wants to do that?
Like, we actually talked about the reason I did bring this up too is I did say that when we moved to the new house, I would absolutely love to do our kitchen in an old ice cream parlor style, and then like even have like a deep freezer for his ice cream, but like just that really pretty style, and then have like the neon signs of like ice cream cones, and I thought that would be so perfect for us. Stephen P, member for 22 months. Thank you so much. Says testing 2 more months. And thank you so much. And then Sam, which you haven't got your 12-month print. So we need to try to remember that. Bring that to Louisiana.
We'll have them.
Just remind us when we're there.
They're already
please.
Packed. I'm not unpacking them. You don't need to worry about that.
Get so overwhelmed when we're there that I will forget to hand it to you, though. But we have them on us usually every show we attend.
Yeah, there's been like 3 or 4 meetings or shows where we've had, I think one of the times for the Bloomfields, and we're like, why didn't we give this to them? What are we doing?
We were like, we worked with them the whole time, and we were like, I can't believe this. Sam said, I'll have you guys 3 or 4 new prints soon.
You're the man.
Awesome.
Thank you, man.
Thank you. I know you're working hard. And Nathan, member for 16 months. Thank you so much. Says only 8 months for 2 years. Yeah, so close.
Yeah, Suzanne said almost 26 months.
Yeah, that's crazy. And Aquarium Fantasy member for 3 months. Testing, I am way behind. Hey, we all start somewhere. Thank you so much.
We appreciate everybody who's been supporting us any amount of time, whether it's a member or not. If you like our posts, you comment down below. It means a lot to us.
Richard, member for 10 months. Thank you so much. Says congratulations. Thank you, Richard.
And Mike said, my guess is a girl. Remember, put your guesses on the Aqua L video that we made. It could be the short or it could be the actual video. It doesn't matter. But if you see the shrimp set 30 tank scaped, you know you're at the right video.
Crafty said, hey, getting back to Elvis marrying you, that's who my son-in-law wanted for his wedding to my daughter. She said no way and hired an Elvis impersonator to come to the wedding. She kept it a surprise. That's so cute. Aww.
That's cool.
I hope they enjoyed that. I hope it was a really wonderful wedding. That's so cute.
And then next weekend is the Federation of Texas Aquarium Societies in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. If you're going to be at that show and you would like us to bring you something specific, you can email us. You don't have to pre-order it. If you want to make an order through the website, though, and in the notes you put, please bring to the show, we will refund the shipping cost if you didn't spend the $100 to get free shipping. Or what are you looking for?
The print. I don't know where you put it.
Or we can throw in extras or something like that. But yeah, we can bring anything. We're going to bring some neos, some snails, a few isopods, a lot of plants. But if you're looking for a specific type of caridina shrimp or something like that, let us know and we'll make sure we bring that for you.
Bugsy said, check the hair. I looked. Daniel said, we get a print for being a member for 12 months. Yes, you do. You get this awesome looking print that Sam did for us. That is of the kiwi caridina that Grant breeds. And To request it, you have to email me at thegardenofeater@gmail.com, or they will not get to you because I don't have your emails or your addresses. So just email us your address and we'll send it out to you. I know a lot of people still say that they haven't got theirs because they never sent an email. I am like caught up on emails. I think there's like a few that I haven't gone through, but like as far as shipping out prizes or memberships, make sure you email us at thegardenofeater@gmail.com. And then Laura was like, I'd love to see the Amazon baby registry with just 500 magnetic algae scrapers listed. Oh my gosh. There was someone else that made a joke just like that the other day. It was like, what are we going to go on there? And it's just going to be stuff for fish. Like fish. I was like, no.
That's funny. I want to do it.
Someone will buy them. Christy asks, member for 15 months. Thank you so much. So, can you recommend a good sponge filter?
So honestly, when it comes to sponge filters, it depends what you're looking for. If you don't like the ones that stick to the side with the little suction cups because the suction cups come off, then get one of the little round filters with the weight on the bottom. I don't really know what brands are better than others. I like the Aquatop ones because they produce the sizes that I need for the ponds outside. So that's just the brand that we end up getting. But honestly, all sponge filters are good. You just got to get one that's rated for your aquarium. Again, if you don't like sponge suction cups, then get one of the weighted ones and just go for like a little bit bigger than what your tank is rated for. Unless you don't like that big bulky thing in the corner, then just go for the exact size recommended. The sponges are great filters. And when I first started the hobby, I was like, how is this thing going to be cleaning my aquarium? This is not going to work. And it did. Blew my mind.
Zin said, wonder how many parameter change water temps change depending on your water chemistry. Also, if any of that could affect gender. May not matter, but that's above my pay grade. Yeah, it's always interesting. I wish someone could look into it deep. Like we have the opportunity, just not the time, unfortunately. It would be cool to know, though.
Here's my thing. If we were having an issue where we were getting all one sex or another, then we wouldn't have the next generation to keep rating them and stuff like that. So I've never worried about it. It hasn't been an issue we've had to figure out.
Chicken tikka for the win, said Bugsy. Yeah, of course. It's really good. And medium was really good. And now I did get medium spice at another restaurant, and it was like a different meal than the chicken tikka. That thing almost killed me. I couldn't believe their spice was different. Alan said, how do you set up and cycle large outdoor tubs?
So pretty much the same way we do the tubs inside. I filled up the tough stuff ponds with tap water. I threw in the sponge filter hooked up to the 1/3 horsepower pump. It's on a closed loop air loop system in the backyard, and threw 2 caps of prime in the tubs, and then added a little bit of the Florinbacter, or the it's the Florinbacter 7, or the shrimp. Oh man, I can't remember the exact names of the different labels. There's a bunch of different ones, but the Microbacter 7. Thank you. There you go. That's the bacteria to add into the actual cycle itself, and then I feed it with a little bit of Florin Multi, which is just a little bit of fertilizer, and this feeds the bacteria so that way it can colonize, get the pond cycled, and then I just let them run for 30 days. I did do a water change right before I added anything to the tubs, and prime when you do your water change. I didn't add any extra bacteria or fertilizer. From here on out, it's just simply feed the shrimp, feed the snails. There's snails in all of them now, so I'm not really too worried about overfeeding them. Them rabbit snails are pigs.
I'm so glad you can make Aquashella Chicago. So are we. Is one of our favorites. So there was no way I was missing that for sure. When is that? August?
It's 3 weeks away now, and really looking forward to seeing you and Steve as well.
So is it in August or July?
It's in August. It's the first week.
June, July. Oh my gosh. This year's going so fast. And the kids are about to start school again. It's crazy.
Yeah, because we have August. The first week of August is Aquascaping Chicago, and then the second weekend is Greg Sage. So I'm hoping the whole house still looks good enough for Greg Sage to come by and do the house. I don't know if Greg is planning on doing a video. I don't think he has a YouTube channel like that. I don't know.
But
He might. Maybe you guys know.
Johnny said, how often or how do you manage to keep all your tanks in good condition? I got 3 and I'd be sucking at times.
The tanks right here look bad. Like they had fish in them. We fed them. We put the fish in before the cycle even fully finished out. And I'm now trying to get a hold of them. This tank looks really good now. This was looking like that one. This tank looks pretty good also. It had a little bit of blue-green algae on some of the sides, but that tank definitely needs a good little resurrection. But it's just overfeeding the fish in there and stuff like that over time. It builds up. So we do water changes every 2 to 3 weeks. I try to do them every 2 weeks, but one little thing happens in the middle of the week and I'm falling behind. So we get that 40 to 60% water change done. Okay.
We're back. Okay.
So this tank right here was foggy. If you go to last week's live stream, this was just murky. No real reason. We didn't really overfeed it, but the filter just got a little bit clogged up and dirty. And it wasn't even like affecting the flow. It was just stuffed with mold, basically. And while I drained the water out of the tank, I just squeezed the filter into the siphon a couple of times. Before we were doing that, I was running the sponges outside, washing them under the hose, and I just don't have time for that. And one of the things I picked up when we went to Plamski's was he was just doing the filters in the tanks when he did the water changes, and I was like, all right, it sounds like it saves some time. I'll do it. The only reason why I was running them outside and doing them out there is because no drain, don't have to worry about filling up the septic or anything like that, cleaning out 50 sponges in one day. And Jason from Primetime Aquatics was like, yeah, the kids just, rinse them in tap water. The amount of time that they're in the tap water doesn't really kill off the cycle like that. So, but in the tanks, it's less time, not having to wash my hands afterwards. I just go from one tank to the other in the order that I was doing all the other. I'm not getting close to your face. I'm behaving. And just go through and squeeze the sponges out like I'm doing the scraping and normal water changes. And I don't do that to all the filters, just to the ones that there might be a little bit of murkiness to the water. So,
and don't get us wrong, there's some tanks that definitely go and get pretty bad at sometimes, but it's like some of our problem tanks where we know it's more of a fully needs to be redone maintenance. Generally, all of them are real easy, just staying on top of the water changes. And you'll see even some of the tanks that's either kleb from like cycling or overfeeding. That happens. I am the worst with overfeeding because I think that the fish want more and more food. Awful, or I'll accidentally drop in like half a bag. It's terrible. So obviously not all of them are going to be up to par, but generally speaking, as long as we don't overfeed and we keep up on the water changes, they look good.
On this rack, we have 90 tanks, and there's 2 aquariums that are bad on this side and one on the other side that needs some attention and work. But out of that, that's 3 out of 90 aquariums. That's like 1%. So I'm pretty happy with that kind of ratio of the tanks being affected. And then other than that, it's just avoid overfeeding. Like I said, these tanks are pretty much a victim of overfeeding. And then on top of that, it's just not overstocking the aquariums, knowing your balance of what to do and what not to do to get a ton of algae. And then cross-contamination. If you get Cladophora from one tank to another, it's hard to kill off Cladophyra. It really is. It thrives in good conditions.
So Matt says, I see you don't have any orange Neos on the site. Do you have any not on the site I can buy? Message us, and I will try to message me tomorrow, and I can check. I actually haven't gone in the tubs in a while. I forgot that it's not on the website anymore. So I would like to go check the tubs. The tank isn't doing good enough for us to sell out of. So if the tubs are back up to par and I can get those cold and taken care of, we should know by tomorrow whether we can or not. So
also, if you're not worried about like where they came from, I have some orange Rillies that probably have some solid orange ones in the aquarium that I need to get rid of. So
I forgot about that tank down there.
I think I could give you some orange shrimp if Shelby can.
Abstract said, on a tank reset, would you reuse substrate for Neo's no illness?
I would definitely clean it through the hose with some tap water. I wouldn't use Dawn soap or bleach or anything like that, but I'd definitely give it a good rinse to get out all the mold and anything underneath it. But as long as it's inert substrate, then there's no problem. But if it's aqua soil or something else, what is with the face, Shelby?
I wouldn't wash it. I mean, how many tanks have we used substrate for other shrimp when we were done with using it for really good Caridina? I mean, it's fine. I would refill it. He's saying there's no illnesses, there's nothing wrong. I would use it.
I'm just saying, if I'm doing a reset, I would give the gravel a good clean, whether it was going through and siphoning it and doing a good gravel vac before you put shrimp in it. I would do that before you just add more mold and more issues for algae and blackbeard algae to happen in the future. Like, I think if you don't gravel vac and take care of that stuff after like 3 to 5 years, you're asking for blackbeard algae.
Bugsy said, my brother-in-law just sold both his 50 Styles ice cream shops and got food trucks.
Are they ice cream food trucks though?
Probably not. You can't really make money with the ice cream trucks as you can with a food truck. I understand.
But I was so happy to see my ice cream man coming down the street the other day. The kid up the road told us that he had died, that there was a newspaper article about him, and I was sad. Almost, I told the guy, I dang near broke a tear for you, my guy. And yeah, no, he's still kicking. So still got an ice cream man running through the neighborhood.
Yeah, Night Owl Aquatics says, I've seen you twice and forgot about the 12-month print both times. I know. I specifically remember bringing it for you at the last show that we were just at when we were at
North Carolina. I was so worried about giving you the mosaic plants.
Yeah. And I knew, I specifically told him, I was like, don't forget the prints because Night Owl Aquatics is going to be there. And I know that one for sure. Sorry. Passy went, so you could go to Jacksonville and get married at one of our jumbo shrimp baseball team games. That's funny.
We do have a aquarium that we need to escape in the Jacksonville area. So
only way says
it's a 1,000-gallon aquarium.
It says congrats on the pregnancy. Oh yeah. Congrats on the pregnancy, Grant and Shelby. I have trouble taking care of my 25 tanks and I only have one baby. Yeah, it could be. I don't know. We didn't have this many tanks when we had the kids before, but now our kids do help us too. So it's like where they can lighten the load on other things and help clean up the house. The maintenance on it's a little bit easier. So we luck out the way we're able to balance some things. And I just enjoy doing things with the kid because I don't like sitting around. I get really, when I have a kid, I want them, they don't like sitting either. That's why you'll have a lot of babies that are whiny or really want attention or become like Velcro babies. They want to do something. So like, even when Layla was young, I was doing water changes with her. She would come sit on my lap and she'd watch me do the water changes. And she thought it was so cool. And it just makes it easier. And like, they have so many like slings now. You could just have the babies in it. Went hiking. We did quite a bit when Layla was a baby. I didn't heal very well from Jaden. That was my first major surgery. I've never broken a bone or like ever hurt myself ever. So like to go through a major surgery at 18, and it was not something I was prepared for. So I really struggled after that. But now I know how to take care of myself, how to heal faster. So we will be right back up and going. And we used to bring our kids to the shows. That's why I know a lot of people were worried about us not going to shows. But I used to watch both kids at a booth. They were toddlers while selling things. While Grant went and like socialized and made sure that we got our name out there, you know, talked to people about sponsorships so that we could get the racks and the different things built up. So we've been through it. We'll do it again. And it's only much more fun because we actually know a lot of people, and everyone is always so helpful. And I won't ever feel stressed because I know that people will understand in our situation, everything going on. And I'm just thankful that we have such a great community in the fish family that I feel happy to do this and still be able to go to the shows. So,
But your baby will have like a whole year ahead of ours, if not like a year and a half to 2 years. So they'll have to get the gist of the auction at the club meetings and stuff like that to pass on to our babies. So that way they already know the gist, because
yeah.
hopefully Thelma will still be around. I can't wait to show Thelma the baby pictures.
Oh, I think she'll be happy. Oh, she'll be happy. I mean, she saw Layla when she was 6 months old. She's known Layla her whole life already, and Layla was so cute the first meeting. But yeah, I usually have to get up and take the kids out because they get a little noisy or they want to do something. It's a little boring for them.
All right, before we bring up another thing in chat, I just have one more thing on the list I wanted to talk about. I know Richard's in here. I know there's a couple other people who the last couple of Aquashellas has had a lot of the fish fam, the YouTuber side completely missing. And I have been talking with someone on the Aquashella side who is looking to revamp the whole creator side of things. So we'll see how Chicago goes, but hopefully by Daytona, it's all revamped and we'll get to see Eduardo and Richard Reynolds there, and they'll want to come because the YouTube side of thing is back. Hopefully. We're working on it. That was it. Also, if you're wondering about the shrimp contest, we are building a website just for the shrimp contest, so it's not anything to do with Aquashella and not so confusing. So hopefully that's up this week.
Oh, Rusty said, do you guys ever feed your shrimp lollies? I find it a good way to observe my shrimp in a planted tank. We do. I actually do them mainly for videos to advertise, especially the shrimp lollies. They do wonderful, and the shrimp absolutely love them. It's not realistic for us with how many tanks we have to do shrimp lollies all the time. They are a little expensive. But like some of our more booming tanks, like our Stardust, our Raccoons, our Calcio tanks, those ones do get the shrimp lollies just because it's a cool effect just to like post on for short and stuff. So I do enjoy doing that for that, but they're really good. I mean, I enjoy all of them. Shelby said, you can definitely count on Steve and me to help Shelby and Grant. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. And everything's changing for this next show, so I don't know what's going on with that and how
everything's changing, but setup and everything for me and Shelby will be the same. So,
should it?
Yeah.
Okay, so that would be fine. So it's not too bad. And while I'm still scrolling, if anyone has some ideas of some live streams and what you guys would like us to talk about, remember we do offer if we pick your topic, we do offer a free Sam Scales print. And just comment down below after this video on the actual video in the comments. And hopefully we'll pick your live stream. We've been struggling week to week to figure out what we talk about because we've gone over a lot of things, but there's always people that haven't really watched those and would like something else again. That's okay. It's just we would like to know what people are wanting to see and hear us talk about. If we have enough to say about it, we'll pick the topic.
I don't know if Zach is still watching, but Zach made an order through the website, and I was wondering if you wanted another banana leaf shoved into your order. And if you do, just let me know. If anybody wants to place an order tonight and would like their order stuffed with a banana leaf, I've got plenty of them going on in the backyard right now. It's the rain, the weather, everything like that is ideal. So I'd be more than happy to give somebody some free banana leaves for their shrimp tanks or botanical needs.
Sam said, just keep the prints in your hair. We should just get hair clips. It's so funny to take a picture and do that. Brandon, member for 25 months. Thank you so much. It's crazy. What size tank do you recommend for a 6-year-old? Well, it depends on how tall they are, whether they need to fit in it. I'm just kidding. For a 6-year-old to take care of would be just a nano tank or 10 gallon. To me, a 10 gallon for sure. It depends on what you want too, because I wanted Oscars at that age. So 10 gallon would not be. It really depends on what they like.
I would have to consider how much of a climber they are, because smaller tanks, and the more they like to move stuff around, the more chances of something breaking. So like a good 10-gallon tank, I don't think most kids could lift or move or anything like that. But the shelf or something that they're on, if it's not sturdy enough, a good 29-gallon tank is real sturdy. The more water volume, the less issues you're going to have. So I wouldn't go more than 29-gallon for sure, because it's just a kid tank. They might get bored, and you don't want to spend that much money into it. But there really isn't that much difference in cost to getting a nice 29-gallon rim tank than a nano.
J-Dub Aquatic says, come scape the 1,000-gallon tank in Jack's, and then do my 550-gallon when you're here. It gets delivered this week. That's cool. That would be awesome.
I have no idea when we're going to Natural Environmental Aquatics, but
it's such a long name.
I know, and I always mix up the words sometimes, so I didn't want to butcher it. But Ronnie's a character. He's a great guy. We love scaping for his booth at the Aquashellas, and we did another show for him also. And he's a local Floridian also, so we'd love to escape a couple tanks for some of the pet stores that are here locally.
Sam said we need to channel Baby Aquatics. That's funny. And then Chevy said, my kids grew up in shows, fairs, meetings, etc. Great teaching experience for them. For sure. It was definitely, it helped with them to understand social settings, especially ones where people are presenting and they have to have respect. So almost every fish club meeting, it's only once a month, and they learned, they were Jaden was a little rambunctious, but he was very quiet. He just had to keep moving at that age. It was very hard to get him to sit still. Now he's kind of lazy. He's getting into his teen years already, and he's not even a teenager. So I'd let them run around in the back corner, or I'll go outside, but yeah, it definitely taught them to be quiet and respect someone talking, and it was very helpful for them. Aquarium Fantasy is also going to Aquashella in Daytona. Can't wait to see. Seems like a lot of people are going, so that'll be nice. Yeah, Brandon said, is banana leaf code for something? No, legit, a banana leaf. And he said, I'll take one.
I got you, Zach.
And then I know Stephen P. was asking if blackbeard algae can be a pigment. I'm kind of curious if that could be. That'd be cool. That'd be cool to use it.
Turn it into paint?
I don't know. That would be cool. That's what I'm thinking. That'd be cool. Because it's got a color to it. So, I don't know. Abstract says, will you bring me some banana leaves to Chicago? If you remind us, we will.
Yeah, I just need a reminder. That's the only thing.
Sam said, it is a long name, though.
And the banana trees are producing a lot of leaves this year because they didn't die off like they do every winter. The weather here this year was really warm, and the trees never really even died off.
And then Zach said, banana leaves for the wind. Shall we pack the last one pretty impressively tight? Good. That was when Nick was here too, and
Yeah,
they're
and
just
I
like
had-
looking at us like, "What are you doing?"
I had full banana leaves drying in the kitchen, and they're like, "Is this normal?" And I'm like, "No, but like it looked like a good spot to dry them."
People are definitely astonished. It's definitely like you know how you get a culture shock. It's definitely like that when you walk into our house because you're just like, you guys are weird. Garcia Aquatics member for 20 months. Thank you so much. Says congrats and we love you. Thank you.
Garcia calls me yesterday, and it is as soon as I answer, the mariachi band goes full blast right around our table. Couldn't hear anything, but I could hear you say congrats. I appreciate it. Thank you, man.
Yeah, it was so funny. Like we were like, how do they sit you with? I mean, this mariachi, I can't pronounce it right. Band was so loud, and I'm like, that we couldn't hear the waiter at all. And they're like trying to take our order, and I'm just like, why did you sit us over here? I would have waited like 10 minutes for a different table or something. Like you sat us in the strangest place. Like I felt like I was imposing on someone's party too. Like they were enjoying it. It was so loud, and it was like Layla was like, "What's going on?" But yeah, thank you for calling us.
Appreciate it.
And Chevy asked if we were flying or driving to Chicago. Forgot to answer that. Sorry. We are driving. We do not fly. I'm not. Definitely, when I'm pregnant, I'm definitely not going to fly. There's more of a risk of me getting sick every time I've flown. I don't know if it's something to do with like the pressure or something because I'm extra
the
clean.
Close quarters.
And I just don't know what it is. I just get sick every time. But I can go to 100 bathrooms on the way to Chicago or anywhere else, and I'm fine. You know, I just don't get what happens. But my immune system just, maybe it's the stress. It's not good. And then Stephen P said, I wonder if Blackbeard algae decomposed, would it become more of a deep red? Usually when it dies, it starts to turn pink or red. So maybe if you sun dried it, it would be like a deep red. That'd be really pretty. Aquarium Fantasy says, can I sell fish in Aquashella? You could sell fish at a booth if you get a booth. You could sell previous to Aquashella and bring it to people. But as far as like walking around selling, you could get kicked out for sure.
It's called backpacking. If you I think people tried to do this at coral shows and then became like where it got labeled as backpacking, or they do it at other like gun shows and stuff like that, where somebody will have a backpack and it'll have like a price sheet and like photos and stuff like that. And usually that person's asked to leave and escorted because they didn't pay money to sell their product. And other people, especially at Aquashella, it costs like $850 for your booth. So it'd kind of be a slap in the face to the people that spent that money to walk around to sell your stuff. But if you arrange for the little parking lot deals and stuff like that beforehand, then those are the same people that would probably pay for shipping or something like that for your product. So that's not really frowned upon, and at least in my opinion, but I'm sure other people might think differently.
Wow, Sam said that the LA Pet Fair had 39,500 attendees. That's crazy.
That would have been awesome if somebody just didn't have to have a birthday during that weekend. Oh, you had a birthday?
It was more of the extensive trip that we would have to take while I'm pregnant that I did not want to do. That was the problem. It's not that my only problem has been going to California is the trip. I absolutely don't want to take it. I don't know how Sam does it. I don't honestly know. It's too long of a drive. It's something we actually have to fly, and I don't know how to do this, and I'm now seeing a doctor again, so maybe they can help me after I have the baby figure out what to do to not get sick on the plane, and maybe we could have this happen. But
maybe just not having
it's not
immune system
worth it.
That'd be great.
I felt like I was gonna die the last time I got it and traveled. I legit was shaking, and the temperature, everything was awful, and I just felt like I couldn't move. So that one scared me a lot, and I just haven't wanted to do traveling since then because that was too much for me. And Christy said, "What are they doing with banana leaves?" I don't know. I mean, some people use it as food.
I mean, I
What?
don't know.
I mean, some people.
So you dry the banana leaves out, or you add them fresh, but you throw them in your aquarium, and they don't break down fast like other leaves do. I've had banana leaves last in tanks for an extremely long time, but it's more surface area in the aquarium for biofilm to grow on. So the shrimp are eating the biofilm on the leaves. It makes it look like they're eating the leaves, but it's just an extra source of food for the biofilm to eat and grow, and it doesn't really pollute the aquarium. But I don't find it to be that beneficial. I don't add any of them to my aquariums, but we did make that joke back when, or not joke, but that offer back when Nick was here and Zach made the order back then. So I thought I'd offer him a banana leaf, but anybody else that would like a banana leaf, just put in the notes, I would like a banana leaf, please. And I will stuff your box with banana leaves instead of newspaper or Shelby wood, one of those.
Yeah. And Mike said, "When cardinal shrimps? We don't have any."
I'm looking for cardinal shrimps. I think Laura has cardinals. If Laura
I need to get those before I have
is
this
willing
baby.
to ship cardinals, I would love for that.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily something I want to worry about when we're at the Keystone Clash after a baby has already been born and making it home with them. So there's somebody in Florida I've been trying to get a hold of to buy theirs, but it's just they don't answer their messages on Facebook.
Chevy said, "I'm glad you aren't flying. It's truly not good to do when pregnant." Yes, for sure. That's why I just don't want to risk it. It's something getting caught in the airplane and a lot of stress. It's just not good for you. So where driving's not that big of an issue, a little extra stops to use the bathroom. That's about it. We'll see how it goes with Chicago. Bugsy says maybe a good idea for a topic would be how to go to and set up for an expo or a show.
I think we've done that one.
We have not. We have gotten several suggestions for it.
I think we've done a video.
We know we've talked
on
about
us setting up and getting ready for an expo.
We'll see.
I don't know.
And we'll double check on that one. But I think that would be a good one. And I wrote down your name just in case, because I would like to go over that, especially like people starting in the hobby that are ready and have enough shrimp or fish to start selling at these shows, to know which shows are worth it, the process of going through it and what you need to do to get ready. I know we've answered a lot of questions. I don't think we've actually done the topic on it yet because of it. Have a good night, Richard. Sorry, that a little behind. Sorry. Passing with cooks with banana leaves. See, I've seen that. I've actually wanted to do that. That sounds really good idea. Sam says banana leaves, drink a lot of water, are a great addition to natural tanks. They have antifungal effect and water softening effect. That's pretty cool to know. We always have a ton of banana leaves. That tree out there, it's been there forever and it's doing really good. So, especially with the beautiful rain we've been having, my garden looks phenomenal. You should have seen all the bumblebees in my yard this morning. They were so cute. Bugsy said, my first expo coming up got canceled. Bummed out. Which expo was it? That sucks. Probably just like a little expo. That's a bummer. And we are caught up in chat. I don't know where Grant was on his list.
Oh, I'm done.
Oh, you're done?
Yeah.
I caught up in chat.
I think we might be over.
We are. Look at that. That worked out really nice. I have banana trees
hold it
from
anymore.
Scotland.
How'd
That's
it go?
pretty cool. Yeah. We couldn't wait 1 minute.
No.
How dare you?
I didn't know
Hey.
how long we were going to be until we caught up with chat and everything like that. So I was like, I'm going to go now while you're talking.
And then Abstract said a video idea would be the difference between Neos and Caridina.
I don't think we've done that exact video yet,
Yeah.
so
We
that'll
haven't,
be a
maybe.
good one. That might be a win, Abstract.
Sam has. How did you catch up? I don't know. We were so far behind for so long. Dr. Andy said 10 banana trees in our backyard in California. Used to collect them all the time for my tanks. Yeah, I don't know. We've never used it for the tanks, but when's the last time it had fruit on it though? It's been like a couple years since we had a little
I
banana.
think the shade
their
tree.
little
I
dwarf
think the shade
shade
cloth above
cloth
it is
destroyed it.
yeah.
Caleb said, Shelly, you don't need to apologize for anything for the next 6 months. Mama privilege. I find it so funny because people are like spoiling me and like won't let me do anything. And I'm like just picking up after my kids at the house the other day. And his friend's mom was like, no, don't you do that. And I was like, it's my kid's trash. Like, I'm going to go pick it up. And she's like, no. And she just like ran and picked everything up. And I'm like, I can still do things. Christy says, aren't huge spiders in those trees? No, not really. Most of the banana spiders are actually in the forest, like
Most
the
of them
actual
are
banana spiders.
between two big trees. It doesn't necessarily need to be banana trees to be banana spiders.
Yeah. All right. Well, we are caught. Oh, can you do a video on Aquashella rules?
So when everything is done and set up, one of the live streams before Chicago is always on the shrimp contest. So I'm hoping Wednesday or sometimes this week, everything's done, the website's done, and I can walk through you guys on the live stream on how to set up and all the rules and everything like that. But currently, I don't have the ability to do that, and I don't want to have to do 2 live streams about it because there's a lot of you that aren't interested in the shrimp contest themselves. But we'll make that one a good 30-minute knock through, and then back to normal chat and updates and stuff like that. So hopefully, though, it's next week.
Passing Wind said, pour coffee grounds onto your banana trees and you'll have lots of fruit. Too bad neither one of us drink coffee. So I guess we'll have our friends who drink a bunch of coffee. We'll ask them for their grounds and then we'll pour them on. Abstract says, have iguanas falling from your trees? We are up too north in Florida. There's no iguanas here. They don't survive the cold. So we don't have that issue. It's just South Florida that really does have an iguana issue. But we are caught up in chat and I am ready for bed.
You know what we should do?
What?
This is a genius idea. For those that are with us still, we should go set up propane tank heaters in the Everglades during cold spouts. And whatever animals are around them, we go and collect them. Get all the invasives huddled up around the little heat. And then it's slim pickings.
Yeah, I guess that could help a little bit.
All right. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate it. We'll see you next week. And till then, thanks for watching.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us. And thank you all for the congrats. We really appreciate it. I did read every single one of them. Thank you all for the support and love.
Thank you, guys.